some people may wonder why they built the pyramids where they did. And I like to use the Bible as a teaching text because, and I know I'll get complaints that they say, well, no one ever established that the Israelites were in Egypt. But, you know, we're getting to that. We're going to get that. But here's the funny thing. If in the time of a drought, famine, or whatever, and the Bible, whether these people entered into Egypt or not, it states that Abraham came into Egypt, Jacob came into Egypt, Joseph came into Egypt, Moses came and went. The people were said to have left. How did they come and go? This is absolutely critical because whether they did or not, whether you want to buy into that, somebody did, somebody came, somebody went. Somebody, anybody. How'd they do it? And here's what you would have done from any part of Mesopotamia, Greece, Palestine, Israel, wherever you wanted, that entire region over there. If you wanted to travel in to see the great kingdom of Egypt, what they would say is take the King's Road and head west. Just keep heading west till you cross the desert. And then you would ask them, well, how do I know where to go? Well, stick to the road because we actually have a connector at the Sinai Desert and the mainland of Egypt, where today we find the Suez Canal. Do you know what a canal is? A canal is a man-made waterway dug across a body of land. So in the day and the time before the Suez Canal, what do you think we would have there? The Suez Isthmus, a point of land connecting two other points of land. The only way in the world for Moses to walk out of Egypt and 40 years later to walk back is to cross the isthmus, the Suez Isthmus, where today we have the Suez Canal. It seems simple. Why do we make it complicated? Everyone in the world crossed the isthmus coming and going from this land. Everyone did not have the ability to part the seas. I'll show you how to do that, but that's another story. As they came in, crossing the isthmus, you would follow a king's road to the west, and you would ask someone, how far do I have to go? How do I know when I'm there? They said, keep walking until you get to the water, and you're going to see this great big white rascal there, like you've never seen before. The unique thing is since it's at least 115 feet above the plain, because it's that much above the Sphinx, and 481 feet tall, you would see it for miles and miles and miles away. It would actually be a beacon of light to direct you into the desert. In a unique manner, you would actually come to the bank of the river, which is water, which is necessary for survival, as you approach the great structure. In a unique way, if I was to lead 600,000 of my buds out with their wives, children, and animals, there'd be about 2 million of us. You know, I'm referring to a Bible story. And it says that leading up to the Exodus, that the people were scattered throughout the land. If we were all going to depart the land of Egypt, walk 10 days to 2 weeks across the desert, this is common sense, but we don't have much common sense today. Common sense, the last stop we would make before walking across the desert today is we would load up with as much water as we could carry. If our leader, Moses, had gone out 40 years ahead of us, come back, if he'd made the trip, he'd know how far it was. He'd say, you fellas need to get all the water you can. Since the book says they were spread throughout the land, and this would happen with any society, but this is just for you to work with. How would you know if you were in the north of Egypt, how to get out of Egypt, or in the south, how to get out? Anyone would say, if you're in the south, travel north till you get to the big white pointy thing, and from there gather all the water you can, head east into the rising sun, crossing the Suez Isthmus. There's no other way to do it. If you had people spread throughout the land, as our elusive Moses did, the Bible clearly says, you would say, people in the north, travel to the south, meeting me next to the Plateau of Giza. People in the south, travel to the north, meet me at the riverside. You would gather at the river, as they say, load up with water, and it just so happens that point in the river is the closest single point, direct line of sight, to the Suez Isthmus. If you gathered to the south or you gathered to the north, there would be rock problems, there would be mountain problems precluding your direct walk out. But if you started there, gathering at the river, you could go east all the way in to Israel. Or if you were coming in from there, you'd come all the way in. And it's absolutely critical for us to understand that beacon for transportation purposes, location purposes, and I cover that in the book.